Welcome in, everybody, to the Slating Rink, Week 8 of the NFL season. We're already halfway through the season. It is going by quickly. It always does in the NFL season. It seems like Week 1, it takes forever to get here. You blink, and then it's Week 8, and then you blink again, and it is going to be over. So it is Chad Rink. Catch me on the X at Chad Ocho Rinko. Follow us. Go check us out. Fanstreamsports.com. Check out all the latest content information from our site. So listen here. It's going to be a kind of scaled down, low key, in my one office in our house. No fancy graphics. We're not going to be pulling up DraftKings today. Just going to talk about the slate real quick. We have missed the last couple weeks, so I did want to get a video out that'll drop Saturday before the main slate on DraftKings. So looking at it, there are a couple really nice spots that I do like. There are really 3 or 4 guys that I do love that I think are just going to be main cores for any lineup I have. I think I'm just going to do a single lineup this week. I do have an NBA lineup in for the late games today. Just three entries in there. I have one, and there's 2 other people. I think one person got their lineup, so it's just me and another guy. And the winner just gets a $20 entry for the Millie Maker. So I would throw that in there as well. I don't think I'm going to do multiple entries this weekend. My youngest son, the 5th son, and the 5th child of 6 for us here in the Rink household. He turns 13 on Sunday, so taking him and a buddy out to do some stuff, and then got family over tomorrow evening, and then also on Sunday. And so I'm not going to get too caught up in doing too many lineups, but I did want to get a video out for those of you that do want to get some information on it. So looking at the slate, it really breaks down to a couple games. The 4 o'clock game, I'll hit the 4 o'clock games real quick. There are 3 4 o'clock games. It's Tampa Bay at New Orleans, Dallas at Denver, Tennessee at Indianapolis. That Tennessee at Indianapolis game, I really don't like. Indianapolis, take any of the pieces. Warren, Taylor, Danny Dimes. You can throw Pittman in as well. The Dallas-Denver game, I think, is going to be the most popular just because the Dallas defense gives up a ton. And Denver does have some pieces that you can fit in your lineup, but I'm really kind of not going to focus too much on that game. I think I have a player or 2 out of there, and then the Tampa Bay New Orleans game. Again, there are pieces I like. I don't know if I like that as a game stack. I think I just want some one-offs there. Looking at the 1 o'clock games, Cleveland, New England, I am just avoiding altogether. New England's defense, maybe just throwing it in, just depending on what we have left. Same with San Francisco at Houston. No Nico Collins. Houston just really can't do much on offense with the offensive line issues that they do have. So really don't like the Houston side. San Francisco, McCaffrey, I will always get a piece of him. With Juwan Jennings back, I don't know how much he cuts into Kendrick Bourne. Kittle's back. I think he's obviously going to have more action than he saw last week, which he had 0. I believe he had 0 receptions. So, again, I don't like this as a game stack environment. Just McCaffrey, maybe some pieces off San Francisco. Jets at the Bengals is interesting because both defenses are not good. The Bengals offense obviously has the better pieces on that offense against this Jets team. However, the Bengals defense is bad. It looks like Justin Fields may start. Tyrod Taylor is dealing with a foot issue. So Woody Johnson, after the remarks, which I think were just ridiculous. I mean, you don't throw your quarterback under the bus as much as I like Justin Fields. I was a Justin Fields guy. He played in Chicago. I'm starting to kind of realize, he can't really read the defenses. His decision making, it's not there. in the pocket. He is a tremendous athlete and runner, so he's always going to have fantasy value. So if he's playing, I would go a naked Justin Fields and just see if he can maybe tear this Bengals defense apart with his legs. I know Garrett Wilson is out. I think Mason Taylor is questionable. So there's just no pieces really to throw to. So I don't like it. But if you're playing in a larger field, I don't mind taking a few shots with a naked Justin Fields against this Bengal defense. And then you can run it back. You can do a naked Justin Fields, run it back with either Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, maybe both of them. But I'd rather do like a Brown and one of those guys if you're doing Fields. So again, I'm probably not going to play much of this game in a single lineup. Buffalo, Carolina, I think can be a shootout. Buffalo has at times had trouble stopping teams. You do have Andy Dalton starting for Carolina. So if you're looking to really pay down for a quarterback, because you're starting to get to the point now where a lot of the upper echelon elite players are going to start being at their price. So we'll look at that with guys like Bijan, Jonathan Taylor, CMC, Jamar Chase, those type of guys. So you can pay up for those guys if you want to get down to an Andy Dalton. I think he can do enough to get you there against this Buffalo defense. But if Buffalo can get after it, get after Dalton, he's not mobile. It could be issues. I'm not going there. Obviously, Josh Allen, I think he could. He has not been great this year, but he is in a nice spot against Carolina. Like he had a good first week, obviously, against Buffalo, but then he's at 12, 23, 26, 21, 17. So he's been decent, but he has not had those explosive games. I think this back half of the season, you're going to see some more of the Josh Allen, in the 35 plus fantasy points. So I don't mind Josh Allen. I would go a little contrarian. I would not really pair him up with any receiver or tight end. I like Shakur as a receiver over Coleman, but I'd do Josh Allen, James Cook. Hopefully maybe Allen throws one or two passes, runs one in, maybe runs two in, maybe throws a pass, touchdown to Cook. And Cook, I think, is going to have a huge day. And we'll talk about him when we get to like the core plays of mine. But I do like that game environment. Not as much as I think the Bears, Ravens, especially if Lamar Jackson plays. If Lamar Jackson plays, I like this game a lot. I do like Derrick Henry. I think he can run all over the Bears defense this week. And if you have Lamar there, I think it's just going to help Derrick Henry. I really like Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze stack against the Ravens defense. You can also throw in, if you wanted to double stack, Colston Loveland is going to be the starting tight end as Cole Kmet has been ruled out. So I do not mind that. So that could be a good game environment. I think you can get with a stack in either side, doing a Lamar Henry, which is a little bit different just because you got a non-catching running back paired with a running quarterback. So that's probably not going to see a lot. And then run it back with a Odunze, or just do a Bear stack, run it back with Henry. So that's a game environment I like. Atlanta, Miami, I love Bijan. Bijan, if I was playing 150 lineups, I think Bijan would be in 150. That Dolphins defense is just bleeding yards to the running back position, and you've got one of the best running backs in the game. They're playing at home in a dome. Even if Atlanta gets up 35-0 at halftime, a lot of that could be because of Bijan. The only thing that kind of worries me with Bijan is if he doesn't score from outside the 20, they could get the point where Bijan could have 150 plus rushing receiving yards, doesn't find the end zone. Algier scores a couple shorter touchdowns. That could really hurt a Bijan day at his price. But I do love Bijan. I like the entire Atlanta offense. I don't like anybody on the Miami side. Atlanta's defense has actually been pretty solid this year. So, but Bijan, I like Bijan. You could do a Penix, Bijan, London stack. I don't mind that at all. I think it's going to be pretty popular. And then the last 1:00 game, the Giants and the Eagles. I don't I think A.J. Brown is questionable. I don't know if they have ruled him out yet. I had seen, yes, they had ruled him out, but then if you look here, he is showing there's no Q tag or anything on him. So I don't mind some pieces here. And he has been ruled out. They have not done it. So he has a hamstring injury. So A.J. Brown is ruled out. So Devonta Smith looks really, really good. You could also, if you are really like trying to save money, maybe John Mechie, Jahan Dotson, but I wouldn't even do that. I would do Devontae Smith, and then I think maybe Barkley could have his one really good game for the year this year. I think they're going to want revenge against the Giants. So I don't mind some of the Eagles side. I really don't like any of the Giants side in this game. I think the Eagles playing at home after getting embarrassed the other week against the Giants, I think they take care of business. So I do like Barkley. Obviously, Hurts is going to be a guy to look at too. So if I'm doing one game, I am most likely I'm going to do a Caleb Williams Rome Odunze stack. I think I'm only going to single stack with Williams. He can score on the ground. DJ Moore is a little banged up. Luther Burden, he is such a boom bust guy. In this Ravens defense, I think he could get a long one. And, he did have that one game. He had over 100 yards and he scored a touchdown. So he could be that. I just want to single stack with the Bears. And then I do want to run it back with Henry. I think Henry can really do a lot. So if you put Henry in there too as the run back, that's really the only run back I like. Obviously, I'm putting Bijan in at 8,800. So if you're looking at it, you got Williams at 5,600. I like that price for him. Pairing with Dunze's at 6,300. And then you got a $6,000 Derrick Henry, which that's why I am throwing him in there at that price, because Derrick Henry could get you 2 touchdowns, even if he only gets you 40, 50 yards. That's going to be good at $6,000. And then Bijan's 8,800, but I think Bijan is maybe even I think he's going to be super popular. He's one of the most expensive guys on the slate, but I still think he's one of the best plays on the slate. So I want to go to my flex because I really do like James Cook at 6,700 against that Carolina defense. So I'm going with 3 running backs in this lineup. I will have some combination. If I was doing a bunch of Robinson, Henry, Cook, I would scatter them through. And those are really the biggest running backs that I like the most, and would just try to run them through at 3 or just, run them at 2. So I do like Odunze. He would be, I think, my favorite receiver on the slate at his price at 6,300. So then you've got that game. And then I like Courtland Sutton at 6,200 against Dallas. I want to get a piece of this Denver offense. As bad as they looked for 3 quarters last week, they turned it on in that 4th quarter. Dallas defense has gotten better, but they just give up points, and I think Sutton's going to be targeted a lot this game. Knicks, I think, will just key in on him. If you look at his targets, he's kind of like he's had 10 targets 2 of the last 3 weeks, and then he's had 6, 8, 4, 9. So I think he stays up in that 8, 10 target range. I think he finds the end zone, and at 6,200, like the price. Going to tight end, you can go anywhere here in tight end. I like Jake Ferguson at 6,000 is the highest price tight end. I think his usage is going to maybe go down slightly with CD Lamb back. However, with Denver having Patrick Surtain, he will probably cover CD Lamb. So I think this could be a good game for Ferguson. I just don't know at $6,000. I want to go there. Tyler Warren has been great all year. They're playing Tennessee. Excuse me. So good matchup, but he's only had 3 touchdowns this year. It seems like he's had more. I think George Kittle will have at least a catch this game, but I just don't like that game environment. I don't think he's going to have one of those breakout 8 receptions, 150 and 2 games that he's known to have time to time. Harold Fannin, 4,400. I don't mind him with Njoku out there playing the Patriots, so I think they will have to throw a little bit. I think Fannin can see a lot of targets there. Dalton Kincaid is questionable, so he can miss time, which can make Dawson Knox intriguing. With A.J. Brown out, I think Dallas Goedert can be a sneaky play for you. He he had 3 targets last week. He did not score a touchdown, but the previous 2 weeks he had 11 and 9 targets, and he scored a touchdown each. One he had 110 yards, one he had 19 because he only had 3 catches on his 9 targets. So without Brown, I think Goddard could go under the radar and be a sneaky play at tight end. You get down to some folks. Mason Taylor is questionable. Kate Otten against the Saints. Mike Evans out. Godwin out. But I think I'm going to – as much as I would like to play Loveland, I think Loveland would have to score twice to really, even at $3,000, I think he'd have to score twice. I don't think he's going to be targeted a ton. He could end up having 5 for 50, and that's not really much. I think if I'm in a single lineup, I am going to swing for the fences here, and with Kendra Miller out for the year, Alvin Kamara is going to see a lot of targets. He's going to see a lot of carries. However, this could be the Taysom Hill game. I think they will let him run the ball a little bit more without Miller in there, because I don't think they've never wanted to give Kamara 20 carries a game. So give me Taysom Hill getting 7 to 10 carries. He will be the goal line guy, I think. I think that they'll put him, if they get inside the 5, they will give him the ball. There's always the opportunity of him out in the slot, out in space, catching a couple passes. He could throw a touchdown pass at the goal line as well. So at 2,900, I think I'm going to take a big swing on Taysom Hill this week with the injury to Kendra Miller. So that gives me $3,750 for my last wide receiver spot and defense. I think paying up to the Colts defense is okay. I just don't want to pay up for defense here. New England second, Atlanta's third. Those are 3 good defenses. I just don't want to pay that much. I would rather slide down, and this sounds gross. Excuse me, it is late. I don't have any water in here. None of the defenses that are down under 2,500 I like at all. With the Jets, Sauce Gardner is out. I think the Bengals can move the ball. Dolphins defense is horrible. Carolina playing Buffalo. Giants, they looked good against Philly last week. I don't think they do it. And the Titans against the Colts, no. So Cowboys at Denver. The Cowboys defense not good. Cleveland on the road at New England isn't bad. I just don't like that spot. And then you got the Bears against Baltimore. If Lamar plays, no. If it's Cooper Rush, then the Bears are in play at 2,600. But I think I'll just go up $100. And it's like I said, it's gross. I'm playing the Bengals at home against the Jets. No Garrett Wilson, maybe no Mason Taylor. Doesn't matter who's quarterbacking, either Tyrod Taylor or Justin Fields. I think the Bengals can get some takeaways. The Jets cannot score. And I think the Bengals get ahead, maybe make Fields have to throw or Tyrod Taylor have to throw. I like the Bengals defense this week. That gives us 4,800 left in our final wide receiver spot. So I think you pay down a little bit here, and I think you can get a guy under right around 4,000, under 4,000. Like I said, it's not much. There's nobody that's really standing out to be like, yes, that's the play. That is the play. Marvin Mims is interesting if you do not go Courtland Sutton. So we'll flip it a little bit. So what I do like, you could go Xavier Legette at $4,000. He, on the 7 pass attempts that Andy Dalton had in the fourth quarter, 5 went to Xavier Legette. So you could go to him. However, I am going to go to, let me pull it up, in the Dome against the Saints. I'm going to take a 4,300 Tez Johnson. He has looked good. If you watch, he looks good. He runs some good routes. He's kind of twitchy. He's not big, but Godwin out, Evans out, Saints not good. They may be focusing on Mbuka. I like Ted Johnson at 4,300 in a game where I think Tampa Bay scores over 30. So have 500 remaining. You're going Caleb Williams at the quarterback spot, Derrick Henry, Bijan in the running back spots. You got Odunze with the Williams connection on a single stack. You've got Sutton against Dallas, Tez Johnson against the Saints. You've got a mini stack there with Taysom Hill at the tight end spot. Then you got James Cook in your flex and the Bengals defense. So that is the lineup I'm playing in my single entry. I do like it. If you decided let's move off Tez and Sutton, because if you want to get a piece of that Dallas-Denver game, which you should, and if you want to go Marvin Mims, he could get deep against that. He's a guy, he could get 3 catches for 120 and a couple touchdowns. He could have that type of game. So if you want to go Marvin Mims over the more consistent Courtland Sutton, that gives you 7,100 left. And what you can do if you think Patrick Surtain is going to keep CD in check, you can get a mini stack of that game too with Mims, Pickens, and they're both going to be the bigger play type receiver. So I actually like that pretty well. Instead of going Sutton, Tez Johnson, you just go ahead and get 2 pieces of this Dallas-Denver game with Mims, Pickens, both with huge upside with those 2 and Taysom Hill. If those 3 happen to hit, the lineup's looking good because I think James Cook, Derrick Henry, Bijan are going to be 3 of the top 5 running backs here. And if the Bears can throw on Baltimore, which most teams have, this lineup is looking pretty good. So I think that's the lineup I'm going to go with. Take the Mims, Pickens with Odunze at receiver, Henry, Robinson, James Cook in the 2 running backs flex spot, Taysom Hill at tight end, Bengals defense, Caleb Williams at quarterback. So that'll do it. Sorry I was not in the studio today. There were some issues with some of our technology there when we were doing the fantasy football show and then the Chadlocks show. They are both out. So go to fanstreamsports.com. Check those out. You can also check them out on YouTube. And then doing it from home, I had some stuff helping my buddy with his roof on his garage. We were moving stuff around in our house with our 18-year-old that has moved out. I finally moving some stuff around, getting rid of some stuff. So this is the office now. It looks a little bit better. I know the lighting's not great. Hopefully the microphone is. Content, as always, great. So I'll be sending more stuff out if there's anything news breaking. Go check me out at Chad Ochorinco on the X. You can also follow me on Instagram at RinkNado. Again, thank you so much. And again, I will turn everyone back to a forward all slate.